Hi there, I care and you matter. I'm Shannon and welcome to another video. And today I am going to share with you my plight to find a little more professional looking streamlined writing tote. Now, first of all, I love the writing tote I have. However, it was a little too clunky and cumbersome, and my husband and I, we're both creatives, and we like to go out and work outside of the home sometimes. We might go to a local cafe or coffee shop, or there's a local restaurant we'd like to visit once a week, and sometimes brainstorm and have a little work session. And, well, let's just say we work very, very differently. He takes his phone, and he might take his iPad or his tablet, or maybe even on a stretch his laptop. Me, now admittedly my phone is always in my purse, but I gotta have all the stuff. I gotta have the paper, I gotta have the pens, I gotta have the planner, I have to have the notepad, I have to have the notebook. And so you can imagine I looked pretty dang ridiculous walking around and then unpacking when my husband's just like, bam, ready to go. And so I was on the hunt for something that looked a little more professional, a lot smaller, and a lot less cumbersome. And so I wanted to share with you what I found today. And first of all, this is, when I first got it delivered from Amazon, I freaked out a little bit because, oh boy, oh lordy, that's way too small. But it's not. And I'm going to show you here in a second. First of all, what is it? It is a Case Logic tablet or iPad case. And I suppose you could use it for a laptop too, but it would have to be a really small laptop. And that's because it is only 14 inches wide by 9.5 inches tall. That's right. Only 1 inch taller than a size of letter-sized paper. Oh boy. Here's the kicker. It's just barely over an inch thick. That's right. An inch. And I got it in the mail or delivered. I'm like, oh lordy. Is this going to work, or do I have another return on my hands here? And now, first of all, we know that it works because you can see my little pin here. I just love this pin. I also got this on Amazon, and truth be told, I have several of them because I've purchased several of them when I could find them on sale. I'll leave a link to both the case as well as this pin down below in the description. But how do I attach this? Well, I just take the little pin holder off, take a pair of pliers, and literally pop off the needle, the point on the back of this. And then I glued it onto this with a little bit of Gorilla permanent fabric glue. Real easy, real secure. And what was here originally was a Case Logic logo, which I just literally took, boy, I'm saying literally a lot, apologize. I took a seam ripper and carefully took their sewn logo, and I prefer it when companies sew logos on because I can take them off. If it's glued down, I can't take that sucker off. But if it's sewed, you take a seam ripper, take it off, make the product your own. You already paid for it. So drum roll, please. You can see right here, right as rain, I am able to fit everything in here. Let's pull it out, and then I'm going to take you on a tour of the bag. First of all, I have my project planner, and inside my project planner is my idea notebook in the back there. There's that. We also have my wire-bound calendar, my day planner I call it, as well as my notepad. Now I keep this for like task lists that are very granular with projects and things like that. Don't have anything on there now because I wanted to keep my current projects a secret, so I just threw a blank notepad in there so you could see how it all fits. And I'm not joking when I say it's an inch thick, folks. So the good news is I can fit what I need in here. The bad news, or maybe it's a positive thing as well, is I'm very much constrained to what will fit in here. Whereas with my other writing tote, it was spacious enough that I could just throw everything in the kitchen sink in there. And don't get me wrong, there's a place for that. But that place is inside my home, not when I'm going to a local cafe. So there were a couple other things I wanted to share with you about this. You might be thinking, no, wait, you got all the paper stuff. What about the pen stuff? Well, right here. Now, frankly, I always have my purse with me, and oh gosh, I should show you the inside of my purse. No, maybe I shouldn't. My husband freaked out because I think I had 14 pens in there. And I had a reason for every single one of them. I digress. Another video, another story. But anyway, so I usually have my purse with me. So I've got clearly 14 pens, ought to be enough. And a couple highlighters, yes. But I wanted to keep some pens in here as well in case, you know, if you're anything like me, sometimes pens run out on you. Another thing my husband laughs about. You know, sometimes I think he laughs at me, not with me. Yeah, my pens will run out of ink, and oh, that sends me into a sheer panic. So I wanted to make sure that I had pens in this case as well. And so I was so excited because I found this little, I don't know what you call it. It's not really a wallet, and it's too big to be a too big to be a coin purse. But I found this as my favorite color, one of my favorite colors, at my local thrift store for $1.99. And I have psoriatic arthritis, so zippers can be difficult for me to grab and use. So another trick, I take wire cutters and I cut the zipper pull off, and then I will often put just a key ring, a plain old key ring on it, and it's easy for me to grip and pull open and closed. Anyway, so in here, it's not huge, but it's big enough for me to put, how many pens do I have in here? 5 pens. So if I run out of the 14 pens in my purse and 5 here, we got problems, right? The world is coming to an end, folks. Anyway, so I've got a good little stash of pens in this case as well. And I like that it had this little opening pouch in here. And there are 3 sewn in pouches or pockets along the wall here. I don't like using those because when you store your pens, if you store them tip down, they often bleed. If you store them tip up, oftentimes if you're using a knocker, I think it's called, or a clicky pen, I also call it, it can get pushed, and then you put your hand in there and then you get ink all over. Oh, there's a little mark there from today. Ink all over your hands or ink wherever you don't want it. So I prefer storing my pens in a case in my little writing tote like that, instead of utilizing these pouches. You could put index cards in here. You could put post-it notes. Again, I might do that. I just got this the other day, so I haven't quite, I've used it enough to know that I like it, but I haven't fully moved into all the pockets. There is another zipper pouch here, which I think I might tuck some tissues or maybe a little thing of lotion. It's a small pouch, but it's certainly big enough to be used. The other thing I like about this is there is padding and structure to this. Oh, and I should mention too, it did come with a shoulder strap. I just threw that away. I'm never going to use, I didn't throw it away. I apologize. I gave it away. But something else worth noting that I loved is the handles have some kind of rubber in there. So it's probably a good 1/4 of an inch thick. And it's very, very comfortable to hold, which I appreciate. The only other thing that some people might appreciate that I didn't is in the inside, there were 2 other pouches. There is a big pocket that spans the full back side of the bag. And then on the other side, there is another pocket, I guess you'd call it a slip pocket, that spans most of the length. But as you can see, they aren't opening. And that is because I did not want to use those pockets at all. And I found that when I was trying to put my things inside, those pockets were just getting in the way. So I decided to deal with those pockets once and for all and just took some Gorilla permanent fabric glue, the same glue that I used to attach my little typewriter pin here. I just literally glued those pockets shut. I was going to sew it shut, but this kind of nylon fabric, I didn't know how it would look after a while, and frankly, it was difficult. I started to do it, but it was too difficult to get my hands in this tiny little space. And so I just did it, glued it shut, both pockets with fabric glue, and those pockets, they ain't going nowhere. So there you have it. If you're looking for a very professional, streamlined writing tote or planning tote that will help you be I guess, more contained and force you to streamline a bit. I highly recommend this. I'm going to leave a link to this little typewriter pen. I'll leave a link to everything that I can, everything that I showed in this video. If I can find a link for it, I will leave it down in the description box below. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.